Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel or our website. Reach out to me directly at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the original IWC Pilot Watch Doppelchronograph. As you can see, this remarkably Teutonic split-second chronograph in yellow gold is an icon of IWC, both in its design and its mechanical lineage. More wearable than its predecessors at 42 millimeters, this model, which was only rarely built from 1993 to 1995, is a tritium dial exception, a timepiece that made the split-second chronograph reliable and will be historically important forever as a result. Now, I mentioned 42 millimeters for this piece, which was largely engineered by watchmaker Richard Habring during his time at IWC, 51.6 millimeters from lug-to-lug. The case is wonderfully intact and minimally polished, and the thickness is substantial at 16.4, but you do get a lot inside the case. IWC was prescient with this model bowing in 1993, but featuring a 21 millimeter lug spacing. It still looks contemporary today as a result. Throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and it's comfortable. The timepiece is broad, but not excessively so, and especially compared to later IWC Pilot's complications, this one wears quite well. It won't fit under the tightest of sleeves, but here you can see I'm wearing an office shirt. I would have no problem cuffing this one, and any jacket will clear the watch easily. Comfortable and handsome. The curvature of the lugs also helps it to wear better on a small wrist. Even so, I would say the lower limit for wearing this watch proportionally is probably a 15 centimeter circumference wrist. Let's take a quick look at hardware and software. I should mention that the watch features hallmarks that are pre-1995, so this would have been from the earlier spate of production. The strap is black with medium rectangular scale alligator leather, a gloss finish. You can see that it's a little bit bolstered and the edges are folded. It features defining splines down the side to add some character line to the strap itself, and then there's an IWC pin buckle which features both polished beveling and satin top and flank. Now you can see underneath it features the pre-1995 hallmarks that you'll see in a delightfully anachronistic form on the flank of the case, so the buckle is original to the watch from the pre-95 time frame. You can see that the watch features polished lug hoods and a satin flank with polished individual triggers, and there's a small setback to the bezel arrangement. As you can see, the outer bezel is polished on its top, but then the conical bezel, which features both a vertical and a conical portion, that's all of satin finish. So you have the satin case band, you have that polished lip on the edge of the case. The bezel is set back to visually pair the mass of the watch. It has a vertical portion and then it slopes into a bubble-like, almost plexiglass-inspired sapphire, and the domed profile of that sapphire is necessary to clear the two hands of the split-second chronograph system. Screw down crown, 60 meters water resistant. Yes, it is a swimmable 60 meters thanks to the screw down crown. You can see the old school IWC fish logo for water resistance, and you can see that this watch includes its original IWC fish crown from the time frame. Now, roll over the dial, and it's gorgeous. For one thing, it features applique numerals, which the standard Doppelchrono did not include. This being a gold model, it does have some refinements the standard model would not. Starting with the applique indices and numerals, we have a lovely gilt or golden printed dial with individual metallic gold day and date discs. You'll also appreciate the golden hands, the chapter rings for the sub-registers, and of course the glossy black lacquer of the dial. Now, the dial is a tritium dial, so not only is this a highly collectible piece, but it is an intact and highly collectible piece. Turn it over, and well, IWC wants you to know that you are looking at not just a Doppelchronograph, but the Doppelchronograph, the definitive model, as created by Richard Habring before he was independent, and for that matter, before he worked at Lange. He's probably best known from his IWC days for designing the first practical series production split-second chronograph, the watch you see here, as well as IWC's original flying tourbillon architecture. Now, the timepiece that you see is covered with a solid case back, and inside of that an iron cage to protect the movement from magnetism. It's based on a Valjoux 7750. IWC entirely re-engineers it, adjusting it, replacing the power source, replacing the regulator, the balance, the hairspring, and even replacing the train wheels, finishing the watch custom, not just the split-second parts, but the entire movement, making this caliber 79230 their own. It's still a unidirectional winder. It has a 44-hour power reserve. It has a stop seconds or hacking function, a double quick set for both the day and the date, and it beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. This 29 joule movement featuring the split-second complication. Prior to this hop ring innovation, if you bought a split-second chronograph, you were going to spend the price of a nice Midwestern American house, because they were by bespoke commission and only from companies like AP, Patek Philippe, and small craftsmen who would create watches on a one-off commissioned basis. With the split second based on the Valjoux 7750, IWC added the two features that had never been associated with the Rattrapant: durability and accessibility. And truly, if you are into collectible IWC, this is a rare, beautifully intact, and historically significant model. With the tritium dial and the yellow gold case, it is exceptional even among the 3711s. For the record, this model is the IWC Doppelchronograph 3711-15 submodel. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.